the next panel is a celebration of the cats, and we have with us the cats manager, Karen Lynch, and 5 cats. Cats standing for community assistance. Community assistance and technical services. I'm going to let Karen introduce her staff. The cats are the folks who answer the unhappy phone calls, many of whom I send to them. When we get unhappy calls from landowners or people with concerns about pipelines on their property or in their communities, we try and answer their questions with information we have available. If there's something that PHMSA needs to be aware of, we send those calls to the cats. They also do much more in terms of attending public meetings and doing a great deal of community outreach. As the administrator mentioned yesterday, they've recently reorganized the cats, and Karen's going to talk about that, and the cats are going to give a little bit of an idea of how they spend their time. So I'd like to have you welcome Karen Lynch and the cats, who she will introduce.
Good morning. Again, my name is Karen Lynch. I am PHMSA's National Community Assistance and Technical Services Coordinator. I have with me today 5 of our CATS managers. That's what we commonly refer the program as. So throughout this presentation, throughout their presentations, you'll hear the program referred to as the CATS program. I am very delighted to be here with you today, and thank you to the Pipeline Safety Trust for inviting us and giving us an opportunity to share some of the changes that we've made with the program, but more importantly, in ways that we could continue to serve you and all of our stakeholders. And the CATS managers have heard this quite often, but as always, I'm excited to share the podium with them. I'm excited to be here with them today. I've said it many, many times before, but these are really some of the most dedicated and committed public servants that I've had an opportunity to work with, and I consider it an honor. I work with these guys each and every day, and I see their commitment to advancing pipeline safety, and they just awe me, and I'm amazed at the amount of work that they do in helping to move the needle as much as we can in pipeline safety. So again, guys, thank you for everything that you do. We have with us today 1 CATS manager from each of our regions. So I'll let them introduce themselves later throughout this presentation. On yesterday, Administrator Dominguez spoke a little bit about some of the changes that we've implemented in the various programs in the Office of Pipeline Safety. One of the changes that we made was realigning the CATS managers within the Program Development Division. Prior to this realignment in February of 2016, the CATS managers all reported to our regional directors within our 5 regions. So the program was effective, but we really needed it to be consistent. We really needed it to be a program where we were truly and effectively serving all of our stakeholders. So when we realigned the program to the headquarters office, we ensured that we had consistent programs in place, consistent messaging in place, and it also just enables them to communicate with each other a little bit more and to share lessons learned and best practices. So we've seen some very good changes within this realignment, and we plan to make even more improvements within the program over the next year. As part of this realignment, we took another look at our mission within the Program Development Division, and what we wanted to ensure that our program aligned with the agency's new strategic priorities. So we changed our mission just a little bit, but we wanted to make sure that we were consistently advancing PHMSA's mission. So the mission of the CATS program is to advance pipeline safety, environmental protection, and pipeline reliability by facilitating clear communications among all pipeline stakeholders, including the public, pipeline operators, and government officials. So later on in the presentation, I do have a list of some of our stakeholders, because it doesn't just include that group. Each and every one of you we consider our stakeholder. More importantly, all of our goals and objectives are aligned with the agency's goals and objectives as well. Currently, we are fully staffed. We have 10 CATS managers, so that's 2 CATS managers within our 5 regional offices. So although they report and are strategically realigned within the headquarters office, they still reside in the regions. They still maintain some of their core responsibilities that many of you are accustomed to. The main difference is that their focus is really now educating and outreach to all of our stakeholders. That is a core function for the group, and it's one of their primary goals and objectives. We consider the CATS managers the public-facing voice of PHMSA, the trusted and unified voice of pipeline safety. And within that, they have many responsibilities. And again, it's all aligned with the agency's new strategic objectives. So it's stakeholder engagement and outreach, regional support and technical services, collaboration, relationships and partnerships, policy and program development. And that's a new area that we're really working with the CATS managers on, as well as technology, data, and information. It's using that information, trying to analyze the risk, and ensuring that we have programs in place that address some of these risks that we see. On the next couple of slides, I've outlined what some of their roles and responsibilities are within this new construct. And for many of you that are familiar with the CATS, many of their responsibilities are still the same. They still participate in pipeline inspections. They still participate in drills and exercises. It was very important to us as we continue to focus on education and outreach, but that the CATS managers continue to have that technical credibility. So when they're reaching out to our stakeholders or when they're speaking before our stakeholder audiences, that they have the technical credibility to really be able to understand those issues. The vast majority of the CATS managers are still engineers, and the vast majority of them are still inspectors as well, and they will maintain some of this criteria and some of this background as well. So that's very important to the program. So under policy and program development, again, that's a new focus area for the CATS managers, but they are managing some of our damage prevention initiatives. Each year we have them engage and participate in the various Call 811 program initiatives. That includes National Safe Digging Month, National 811 Day, and other damage prevention initiatives as well. Under stakeholder engagement and outreach, it's really communicating to all pipeline safety stakeholder audiences on pipeline safety, on PHMSA, on what our authorities are, on what our roles are. And there are many instances where there are issues that are not within our authority, but we do work really hard in helping our various stakeholders understand what our roles are. And if it's something that's not our authority or our role, we do work very hard in ensuring that we're communicating that information to them as well, or we'll reach out to that authority or body and try to provide that additional information to the stakeholders. Under regional support and technical services, this is really serving as the liaison between the headquarters office and the field office. So a lot of what I do is communicate a lot of the national priorities or the agency priorities to the CATS managers, and they filter a lot of that information to the field. Collaboration, relationships, and partnerships, it's really just continuing to work with our various stakeholders on various initiatives. Many of the CATS managers serve on some of our rulemaking teams. Some of them also serve as grant managers or program managers on some of our research and development projects. Again, it's maintaining that technical credibility and knowledge as it relates to pipeline safety. Technology, data, and information. Again, it's just really, really important to us in this program because we want to be forward-thinking, we want to be proactive, we want to get ahead of some of the pipeline safety issues that we're seeing and that you're seeing as well. The way that we do this is through the data that we have in the agency. We're looking at that. We're also trying to capture and record the top stakeholder concerns that we're receiving within the program. I believe in the last 12 months, collectively, we've responded to over 1,000 public inquiries by phone and by email. So we analyze that data at the end of the fiscal year, and we try to outline what are the top concerns that we're seeing, and more importantly, how do we address it? Then there's my role. So I am the National CATS Coordinator. I don't work nearly as hard as these guys do. I tend to respond to the easy stuff, and I try to send the hard stuff their way. But for the most part, I manage the program. I also develop our annual National CATS Action Plan, and that's a risk-based plan that each of the CATS managers are responsible for executing. We've also included the performance metrics from this plan in their annual performance appraisals. I also communicate our national program initiatives to the CATS managers, and we try to work hand in hand in the field so that we have consistent and key messaging throughout PHMSA. I manage and track our program accomplishments. What's really important to me is that we're successfully and effectively executing this program. I also present and participate at stakeholder meetings and conferences. Generally, it's the CATS managers that go and speak and meet before these various bodies, but there's some instances that I can support and back them up as well. We all create and develop communications messaging that's targeting some of the risk that we're seeing, but some of our damage prevention initiatives and programs too. So we do this by way of brochures, by FAQs on our website, just various outreach materials. And in addition to managing the program, I wear multiple hats in the agency. I also manage our technical assistance grant. I manage and support some of our damage prevention initiatives, including our public awareness program. And our CATS managers also wear multiple hats as well. So this slide, I wanted to communicate essentially just some of our stakeholders that we work with on a daily basis. This isn't the full list, but the reality is that pipeline safety is a shared responsibility. And because of that, we try to work hand in hand with all stakeholders on all pipeline safety issues as well. Some of our key focus areas for 2016, and we'll be working on these in 2017 as well, is community assistance and technical assistance. Again, it's communicating some of that technical information to our various communities. It's the education, it's the outreach, it's stakeholder engagement, it's listening to you all, in addition to listening to you, taking what we're hearing and actively incorporating it in some of our programs and initiatives. We also are focused on damage prevention and legislative support. Something that's new for the CATS managers this year is helping to execute the excavator enforcement damage rule. So these are going to be some of our frontline employees that are going to be monitoring the NRC reports. They're going to be monitoring the media, just various mediums to manage excavation damage on states that we have deemed inadequate. So they've helped to put together some of the policies in place for enforcing this rule. Call 111 awareness, again, that's a very key program for the agency, and the CATS managers meet with various stakeholders, participate in various conferences and meetings and exhibits and things to promote that program, and they'll talk about that a little bit more today. Cross-border safety, that's a new initiative for the agency that we're trying to get ahead of, as well as public awareness improvements. I serve on the agency's internal public awareness work group, and several of the CATS managers do as well. Pipelines and Informed Planning Alliance. That's something that we're still working on in the agency, and we're starting to incorporate new construction into that, because that's another issue that we're consistently hearing about from our stakeholders. So again, we want to get ahead of it and provide information that is useful to our stakeholders. Pipeline conversion outreach, that's another focus area for us in 2016, as well as our website. We're also looking into refreshing our website and just ensuring that it's more transparent. Based on the chart that PST shared with the group on yesterday, we still have more work to do, and we have some major plans in really transforming our website and making sure that it is an effective and useful tool for all of you. So I wanted to share some of the top stakeholder concerns that we've heard thus far in 2016, and we're hearing this throughout the 5 regions. So it's jurisdiction and siting issues. And although PHMSA doesn't have the authority as it relates to siting, it's an issue that we need to get ahead of, and to be able to provide some information to you and so you can better understand what our authorities are, what the authorities are as it relates to the states, as well as FERC. New constructions, absolutely another issue that's impacting all 5 regions. Proposed pipelines, general pipeline safety, right-of-way and easement issues, as well as pipeline data and information. So we have a wealth of information on our website, and it's our data and statistics website, but we need to take another look at it just to ensure that we just don't have a data dump, but we have information that's useful that you can utilize and better understand pipeline safety. So that's another area that we're hearing from our stakeholders, and it's something that we need to be even more proactive about. On this slide, I've listed some very useful resources for you, and this presentation will be available to you. But at any time, you can call me or you can call any of the CATS managers. We can walk you through this information, provide you with links or the information directly. So we encourage you to reach out to any of us. This is what we're here for. We're here to serve you. And finally, this is the point of contact page for our CATS managers and myself as well. Again, you can call any of us, and we will certainly be there to help you.